Hi, folks. My name is Kevin McCoy. I'm a community engagement specialist with Church World Service, and we're going to do a quick video on what's required for after the walk's over by the treasurer's role. And I'm going to run through this all pretty quickly. But first off, I just want to thank you for taking on this piece as the treasurer. It'll be particularly helpful, I think, for new treasurers and maybe a reminder to some of the veterans out there as well. First off, if you're a new treasurer, you've got this box of money in front of you, of cash and checks. You probably have these Walker envelopes in there and everything. Count the money, make a note of how much each team raised, and I'm going to tell you what to do with all that money right now. First off, you should have received a packet in the mail, a treasurer packet, a big envelope, and it has everything you need in it. There is a checklist, and mostly I'm just going to go through this checklist and give you some visuals about what's in there. So it's all written down, so don't worry about it, taking copious notes or anything. First off, pull out of your treasurer packet your remittance envelope. It's right here. Essentially, we've taken out all the complications as best we can for sending in this money. But these are your postage paid, coded. They've got a number on the inside dedicated to your particular walk, and they are already addressed. All the checks and all the money goes into this envelope and dropped in the mail. Don't need to pay any postage or anything for it. But let me walk you through the steps to make sure that all happens very smoothly. First off, take all of your checks and stamp them. You will, in your packet, should have gotten a little stamp and pad, stamp them, endorse them. On the back, it just says for deposit only, Church World Service Crop. So stamp all the back of the checks and put them in the envelope. Secondly, you'll need to take all that cash, and I know you're thinking, well, we can't send cash through the mail. That's excellent. Don't send cash through the mail, but convert it into a check or a money order. So if you turn it into a check, just in the memo line, write Prop Hunger Walk cash. It's made payable to Church World Service. And then you take that check, that's all your converted cash, and you put that in the envelope. Next, you'll go ahead and take this envelope, tear off the tab. It says right on it, detach here at the very top. And there's a little thing for you to fill out, just your name, date, and the amount that's in this envelope. Then put this into the envelope as well. So you got the checks, you got the converted cash check, and you've got this in the envelope. Next, there in your packet is a postcard. And it's just going to be a self-addressed postcard. So write your name and address on this postcard and drop that in the envelope. When the folks in the national office receive this envelope with all your great donations, the first thing they'll do is they'll pull out this postcard and they'll drop that in the mail back to you so that you know this envelope has been received. And so no problems. You take this remittance envelope, you fold it, well, do that or use a sponge or something and seal it. Like I said, no postage needed, just drop it in the mailbox. So that's how you handle cash and checks. The next thing to remember is there is a treasurer's report that is also included in your packet. And it's filled out to a degree with previous teams, previous churches and groups that have participated in the walk with their name and address and such like that. And then you'll get several of these sheets. If there are any new teams, just go ahead and add those as well. But this is a form you'll send in. Well, you'll send it in about the time that you think all the money has been collected. Now, this could take a month. This could take 6 weeks, 2 months. But when you're pretty sure, we've asked everybody, they've mentioned they've got their money in. We're pretty sure, well, it's time to turn in this report and send it to Church World Service. Now, the next to each team name, there's a line that says the total cash and checks that were for each team. You've already noted that, right? So write that in there. And then the next line says all of the online money that came for that team. Now, here's where you'll need another report. You'll email Church World Service at webwalk@crophungerwalk.org. Once again, it's all in the notes, so don't worry about remembering that detail. But you'll email them and say, "Hi, I'm the treasurer for the Charlotte Walk. Please send me an online report of our donations." Usually within a few hours or very quickly, you'll get a report by email. The report itself has tons of information, but there's like one tab that you just need to finish up your report here. And that is a list of the teams that signed up online and how much they raised right next to each team. So this one little sheet here will tell you what to put in the online portion of this. So you see that, let's see, Archdale United Methodists, they raised $600 in cash and checks, and online they raised, and you look at the sheet and go, $1,129.51. So you write that in there, and then you add those two together. That's how much that team raised this particular crop walk year. So this is pretty straightforward. The report itself, like I said, it doesn't need to go in right away. You can wait until all the funds are in. But this can be then sent to CWS in two ways. There is an email, so you could scan it into the computer and go ahead and email it to Church World Service. And it's at forms@cwsglobal.org. Once again, it's in the instructions in your packet. But you can do that, or if you want to do things old school, like I usually do, you can drop it in the mail to Church World Service. And there are in your packet these large white envelopes, and they're large for a different reason, but you can put this report in that envelope and then go ahead and send this to Church World Service. I think that's most of what you need to know. Let me cover one last thing that's in your that's in the after walk requirements for the treasurer position. You've got all of those little walker envelopes. They've all been filled out, the used ones, right? Grab those together and put them in these large envelopes and large white envelopes. And this is postage paid as well. And just drop it in the mail. Now, if you're ready to send, do that as quickly as you feel like you've cleared out those envelopes. But if you're ready to send in your treasurer report, you could also put that in that same envelope so that you're covered. When they get up to the national office, the folks check through them. They double check there's no checks actually left in there. But it's also a good thing for us to keep track of in the future. So make sure you send those in at some point. And one thing to know, just to reiterate with your money, you've got a number of these gold remittance envelopes. Let me just remind you that you don't want to hold on to checks. So go ahead and if a couple more checks come in a week later, do a whole nother envelope, just like that. Tear off the tab, put it in there, put the checks in there, drop it in the mail. You probably have 7 or 8 envelopes that have already been sent to you. If you run out of these, you can call Church World Service. We will send you more of these. We're always happy to take late checks as well. those are all the basics. I really appreciate you taking on this task and for all your great work for people who are struggling with hunger and poverty. Thank you so much.